Yeah. I'm just here. John, nice to meet you.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you so much.
Talk to you, now me wool see the book. Now don't get belly, now you want Kale belly. I know they send me poke for seka olele. Now you the shell and me body get belly. When I they look the pick, you want kobo with no fever. Got pretend me now me you get liver. Kind of flop behind now you the shiver.
Look at face and me face, TTICM. If you want me, look at more time, me more, TTICM. If you want me, body no send me no, say TTI watch em.
If you want me, body.
No like for me, yeah, baby. No like for me, yeah, baby. No like for me, no like for me, no like for me. No like for me, no like for me, no like for me.
If you want me, body. Look at me face. From me gets a go answer. Yeah, Shakat. Deaf you, Spano self can testify. Weed. Shotcuts. Free some critters. Word up.
Yes, Fiba Mi Padi, of course, this is our original song from Salome. Yes, I like the way Salome man them, they do things. I love it. Of course, this is not from Sierra Leone. This is not the same way Salome musical artists then just begin to go into songs, you know, that Salome, that they do very well, you know, then 10 and day. And so, you know, we just want to say a lot of thanks to them because, you know, this is a big lesson to all the women them. You get to know that you belay, you get to know that that man will get the picking, you know. And so I like the way me man then demonstrate them inside the songs. Inside the song they demonstrate them very well, you know. And so, you know, Salome sabi for do things. It's just that sometimes we can easily become distracted. But when we are focused, we're able to do things in a very good way. So, if you want me, Paddy, I like the song so much. You know, we just decided to bring some old music then back today. It's not more about the music; it's about the message that is in the music. You know, and this night we can tell Salome musical artists there. You know, if they sing but business, sing something where get story inside, where they make sense, where anybody listen the beats good, you go able to dance to it, but at the same time you get message by the lyrics them we go able for teach a lesson, you know. So this is a very good song. We appreciate that. So my family, welcome to Sherrick's Broadcast Network, the place who would bring Sierra Leone live to whosoever you there around the globe. Of course, today another day, you know, when January 12, 2019, we come to una today from studio number 8 based in Houston, Texas. Mina Ibrahim Sharif, your original host on the show. Today we'll not get Boku for talk. We just get for focus on two areas. Two things then. One, we get for continue for talk about Alhaji Sam-Sumana. We see him last week, the stretching hand, the hug, the greet. And as by Kroma way, inform our boss we've been sacked from the office of the vice president when I be an elected office. We are going to talk about that today. Again, of course, we get for talk to the global publicity secretary of the Coalition for Change, with Betsy, a former journalist by profession, and of course a firebrand. We're going to talk to her live on the station here about the C4C and Sam-Sumana. We also get to talk about the Commission of Inquiry. You know, we're not done with the commission yet because we still half talks and they go around. And so we get to talk about the Commission of Inquiry, especially a talk where one party people that really make so much inside the APC, where when we talk about the original people of the APC, her name is not even in there. But now don't become one of the mouthpieces. They talk about cool. Dr. Sylvia Blyden will get for analyze waiting. They don't talk on social media concerning the Commission of Inquiry. And so now that's what we get for bring come to now today, plus few more items we will go analyze now. Yeah. So the government done the imposition of authority since April of last year to this time, waiting at the economic trends in the country, how the economy of the country is. We'll get for look at that, we'll get for analyze them thoroughly, okay? So now that we'll get for do na Sherrick's Broadcast Network. So Mina Ibrahim Sharif again, stick around with us. Yes, of course, we farm with them. So just like I would don't say, the first item on the agenda get for be talking about Alhaji Samuel Sam-Sumana and in reconciliation with Anes Baikroma. We get for talk about Andy today, of course, and so we don't hear plenty talks and they go around about this very guy. So we get for talk about him today, right here on Sherrick's Broadcast Network. Of course, just like how we don't talk last week. I'm very sorry if I'm with something that distract me a little bit. But anyway, waiting the CBME now, waiting you they watch live, Mr. They able for CNI, so I can able for know whether they watch and everything, so it's good, But anyway, so Alhaji Samuel Sam-Sumana, now the man this way, when I all know the story, we're not going to go over the story because we don't tell that story plenty last week, and of course we all know the story, but we just feel say it necessary for talk about this guy because this is the guy where we all get for really be very very much concerned about, because now man, anytime we come with a tactics, something they really up in sleeve, and so we try for see waiting make way suddenly, we don't see this Maya after we don't talk plenty evil things about Anes Baikroma and all the leaders in the APC and the APC as a political party, understandably based on the fact that they're waiting and doing inside the APC and waiting the president do we understand where they talk then they. So the listing where anybody would expect was at that U-turn where Samuel Sam-Sumana make for come back and apologize to, for come back for reconcile with Anes Baikroma. Now we're not against the reconciliation. We don't want to let people then get we wrong. It is his personal decision to reconcile with anybody, for make peace with anybody. We are not against that. Mr. Sewe Sidona also today, according to the religion, we meet the fella where your brother don't do you bad, where you feel say you forgive him, you make peace with him. Alright? We are not against that. But what we are against is the unilateral action with this man don't take based on the fact that if I don't know in position by now, for say I am a leader of a very large group of people. Number one, when they sack me by the constitutional position where I've been get, Sierra Leoneans, they will mean well for the country. They were all upset, then jump on the street all over the world. They protested, not necessarily because they loved me, but because they wanted to protect the constitution of the country. So if they don't do that one day, why is Nami the whole thing affect? Any decision we are to take going forward, at least I for consult with the leadership of them kind group them. Or even the political organization where I form, anything what they do, even if the hierarchy of that political organization is split into two or many factions, you as the leader, that is where you show your leadership ability, how you go able for bring them together, how you go able for take decisions where say it they affect them all, but how you go take that decision if you not get anything up your sleeve. But that is not what Samuel Sam-Sumana did. He did something completely different. And so that's the way it do it completely different is what we are going to talk about here today, right? So we want for me to stick around as we continue for Bring That program. Stick around with us. All right, and so before one of the talks then where to go around prominently. Now the fact say, Samuel Sam-Sumana they talk say, or people that they talk say, either na in they spread this rumor because they want for test waters and know how people then go talk about this issue, or how the government go talk about this issue, because there was this interview with them game we will not get now, but plenty of una go hear that interview after we go McKinney kind of fit on the get a small interview. When they get that interview, they say in don't they reach out to the president, Julius Madabio. They tell us say in we get some projects that we want for work on. So then projects and they become a patriotic Sierra Leone, you not go on for them projects and they left, you know, they left so we not able for implement them. Now, Alhaji Sam-Sumana, you were in position of authority, I go say, for almost 8 years. You been in a power in a country as vice president. What you make you not be implementing projects and they are intending? Why you feel say this new administration where they follow the new direction for say they get any accommodation for you for bringing any project? Now, what kind of project is that? And you know, somebody like you anytime we bring something like that one, they will get for veteran force, because knowing your background, not can where we country per number again. Oh my God! But anyway, we get for talk exclusively with your sister today about this guy. For let we know whose side they stand as a political party on this issue. But anyway, so Sam-Sumana, they talk say him get projects that we want wrong with the president, how where he can the country. We don't they talk with Madabio, but later on we call Madabio, they pick up the call, and so now he make a council, he meet one with all the other political party them. Okay, you meet with the other political party them, but why you feel say you are so important? That importance where you been get, where you not be vice president of the country where they elect you. Not feel say that the same thing you get right now, based on all the political decisions the way you don't make. So I don't know why this guy thinks that he still get this aura of importance. You young people that say na cannot they vex by you right now. So if I mean that you are the line low, I've tried for men cracks with me young people them na kono before I begin for labo too much. But anyway, so what is going around is that the man say if I be entitled to benefits, right? He say if I be entitled to benefits. Now that entitlement they now want for really talk about right now, because number one, let me look at everything, put it into a real good perspective. Because you see, salon people that when something happen, let me not just use with emotion quick. Let me analyze that first. Let me know if the man qualified for what they say he qualified for. Number one, they fire the man inside job, right? They fire the man inside the job. Now, as far as my own knowledge concerned, waiting me know about job or any organization where you join, right? Where they fire you in your job, automatically you don't lose everything, except if you, whilst you be in that job as an active employee, you be done the save small thing for yourself. But when they don't fire you, you know they go with nothing. So I don't know why the man feel say, is entitled. But anyway, so waiting in the talk is saying, then they float this rumor around as to whether Sam-Sumana entitled to any benefits, right? So he was fired in his job. Then at the time when they sack him, he not be sick for any retirement at that time. He was not. None of us say we don't reach the age of retirement, if we almost want for retire, if we don't put the application for in retirement, and so at that time when they sack him, no, he was still a young man, and up to now he's a young man. They always call and his Bicroma in Big Brother. So at the time of his sacking, he was not seeking for retirement. The Supreme Court we don't rule on a case for say he is guilty. When they sack him, for say, and his Bicroma be get right for sack him. Now, recently, we don't also see him, we don't go to McKinney. Incessant, we don't go apologize to the APC and to honest by Kroma for any wrongdoing we've been doing way inside the APC. So, by the fact that you don't apologize to the APC, we they expel you from the party, and to honest by Kroma will sack you as as vice president, that is to us is an admission of guilt. You don't talk say I was guilty. The Supreme Court was right. and all the people that will jump on the street will be they protest in my favor or in favor of the constitution were wrong. Now that day you don't tell all Salome them. So when you are sacked from your job, you are not entitled to any benefit except if you had saved for yourself while you were an active employee. That's in the way they, as an active employee, if you don't save, and so we go talk say, oh okay, yeah, probably we will say yes, an active employee, and so if it near retirement, so you not do anything bad, we don't sack them. That's the process you go through. Even organizations, whether they don't expel you from organization, you're not entitled to any benefits anymore. And often say you go to APC and tell us say you're entitled to benefits. But anyway, so this now the talking points tonight. And of course, at this moment, we want for Leone stick around quick for we as we bring with sister in for Leone talk about this issue. All right, stick around with us.
Yeah. Just here. George, nice to meet you.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you so much.
matches for make you see me face fine, oh. If you buy me body, but them, now you want can give me so. now for your own, I get the soak. I give you school love, it's on and provoke. You take me party now, me womb, I go walk where they talk to you, now me wool see the book. Now you don't get belly, now you want cali belly. I know they send me for seka olele. Now you the shell, now me party get belly. When I they look the picky, one kobo with no fever. God tell me now me you get liver. I don't flop the now you the shiva.
Looking face and me face, TICM. If you want me, looking more time, me more, TICM.
Yes, me famuden Ifiba mi Padi. Of course, that is Sierra Leonean song. Ifiba mi Padi. Of course, I like that song so much. You know, that song we I don't play plenty times. You know, every time where I get a little bit of chance, I go ahead and play that song. It's so good. So, my family, I want for tell una plenty. Thank you, of course, for we una the following. So, at this point, we get for try for bring your own sister inside. This now sister Betsy Foray, of course, as una know Betsy na the National Publicity Secretary for Global Publicity Secretary for the Coalition for Change. So, ever since when this thing don't happen, we'll not be able to talk to them. And so today we don't decide to we'll get for talk to them exclusively on the channel for see where the C4C stand as. Of course, we don't talk to the global vice chairman, but now in at the post we are the mouthpiece of the party. So one for talk to her as well about Alhaji Sam-Sumana in issue. All right. So hello, Betsy, how you do today?
Hi, Ibrahim. How you say?
I do great. Welcome to Sherrick's Broadcast Network. One small, always nice delight for get you on the station for let's talk about national issues. And so, without wasting any time, people that know you already, you don't need to introduce yourself. People that always see you. Now, we talk on all issues, but we start with the political party with a coalition for change. And the leader, the political leader, winner Alhaji Sam-Sumana, we suddenly see him go McKinney, he meet with the former president, and as by Kuruma, then hug, then shake hand. I began some people then behind. So some of we be the wonder as to whether the C4C and Sam-Sumana be get that kind of arrangement for like do what he been do last week. What you go say?
Well, you see, thank you very much for when you invite me for the show. You don't always did it for we from when we start C4C, and I remember I be come na your television station for let we were able for market the C4C. At that time they will be new. So this is not a strange thing to me, and I appreciate where you call me for let we can clarify the issues concerning the C4C party.
No problem.
Whereas we unsuccessful flag bearer for the last elections, Sam-Sumana, no consult with we at the global executive. It probably go down consult with some of the people them at the national executive. You see, one thing we can always say, people in they, where them belong to political parties, them, they know they put them country first, they know they put the party first, now individuals then they put first. So in the case of C4C, we get people that we just believe say it's Sam-Sumana, because for personal reasons, and most times now waiting then they benefit either they like maybe sometimes where they give them small thing or they just I don't know, but for some reason they don't think objectively. So it go get them kind people in there where it go they consult for do things. One thing where me go make very clear to viewers them is Sam-Sumana has the right for let it go make peace with Anesco Roma and anybody in Sierra Leone or in life where if you don't get problem with. Now in rights for do that. May not get any objections for where it go to Anesco Roma, McKinney and all the fanfare for let them go make left salon people they know say they don't get peace. The only problem when we get with that is then the C4C name and put and parcel of that their meeting day. And C4C was formed here in the United States. Now, first we register them as a political movement, and so now later when they see say we don't get traction, have the press release they will be the pool. So now I make I admire some people who don't hang by the C4C now and they make noise. Where were they? Where will be the pool press release then? Almost every now and again. will be make C4C become a household name. So me not take them kindly for where Sam-Sumana take C4C party name for Krangopa and APC, and somebody make an audio where they explain to the general public, say Sam-Sumana and Eskroma meets, and the person they say C4C they can out to APC. Now wrong information that they then put we C4C where we from, where we have founding members. We no go ever go join APC nor any other political party. So me see I'm like for say they don't inform the public, and I want let the public know say C4C na an independent party. The party within a power right now, the SLPP, if we see then they do some of the thing there where we said we don't plan say if now we win the elections we go do, we will support them. And I see at the same position KKY of the honorable KKY of the NGC party self they say things we know say we don't plan for do. If we see the SLPP they do one, we will support them. But if we can see say the SLPP don't go off track and they do things that we not go better the country, then criticize them. As far as me concerned, with next elections now 2023, it's still a long way off. Inside politics, 4 years now, long time. Anything can happen. So me just want to reassure the public say C4C from global perspective as an independent party, and we are not a party to the faction we want to go to the APC. And if Sam-Sumana want to go to the APC, we wish him well. We wish him well, and we go just laddie if he can left with C4C now. If he also can force for record with the house of people don't begin to propagate, why if they delay for go APC? He go delay, by the same way he go want for make like APC no say one join them, he go don't come too late. So me na him, if na that he wants let him do him, because the more he keep this making people guessing, he want make brass spider, he want foot there, he want foot there and that. If the one side draw the wrong under him, the other side draw the wrong under him, it crash. So me na him, if you don't see say APC is the way to go now, in a big party now, he go make it become president, would have said, let him leave now, then they go make it get respect. But this thing we start first with allegations that in the runoff, then take money in APC their hand for let them go declare for APC, then deny the allegation. But in the course of the runoff, we have with other members in the country, the other national executive, then they say Sambasandi, when the chairman send text message to them, they say let them go support APC. But thankfully, the people now know when they we use strong base, they use their own initiative. They don't follow any directives from anybody. They voted their conscience and voted the SLPP. And Sam-Sumana be done ready for go declare for APC. A spokesperson if he put under the global executive, say Sam-Sumana they can go declare for APC. Then the Secretary General will go for come and say no. Pull this notice where you put so apologize. That's not happen. But you know something? I hear from a renowned journalist we don't die. May his soul rest in peace. That journalist there, not to no other person but me, Uncle Pius Glory. On the Democrats newspaper, it tell me, it say in they can publish a story, and the title where in go give the story now one honest man. It said it gets to do with one guy waiting at the C4C we named Alusine McFoy. It said it can follow the guy up na television and radio. He said, wow, C4C when I get smart people there. He said that guy is very sharp. He said, well, Miss B, make I tell you what the guy do. He said they can't go now and Eskroma in Ost in with 2 other people there. They go try to coerce them for let them go make it go declare for APC. That guy stood his ground. And I asked him in one of the general meetings, one of the executive meetings there, and he clarified him. He stood his ground. He told my uncle or maybe somebody told my uncle that he looked Anis Koroma, the president at the time, right in his eyeballs and said, Mr. President, he said, I may not even be able to buy my return tickets to the UK. They say Anis Koroma begins smile. He said, I am broke. He said, but you know what? The money you just gave me, I don't need it. then they be impressed me uncle bad one.
Mm-hmm.
They say only people they like that kind they go plenty in a salon. If just a third of the people in a salon go turn like that one honest man. If me uncle in newspaper be ever come out before he pass away, that was going to be his headline, one honest man.
Mm-hmm.
So now, hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
And Temba Sandy, Sam-Sumana, they all deny the allegations. But to me personally, and other places then Sam-Sumana accept say, they take money, na so post in hand, but ingo scatter na kono. At that time, you know, ever tell any of we. And C4C behold an emergency meeting in the course of the runoff. For let them go determine whose way for go. 21 of them will attend the meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Put votes Usai for Ling. 16 of them, imagine 16 out of 21 say support SLPP for this runoff. 4 people then say let we team up bien with flag bearer. Any side is say for go now they will for go. Just 4 people.
Mm-hmm.
And one grand person say let we go with APC. So with common sense.
Mm-hmm.
In a democracy, Usai 16 out of 21 don't talk say this is the way to go. Why we not go that way? Sam-Sumana never ever declared for the SLPP. So I can find it amusing where some man can talk say, oh, and look at SLPP the way they are ungrateful after C4C don't go make them get power. But if C4C make them get power, not to be from official channel. Because officially C4C leadership never declared for the SLPP. So they not for now can begin take credit for the SLPP win. And now when they don't deny all the allegations, they including say that they hold secret meetings with APC for see how they will negotiate for less Sam-Sumana go there. And now we see things done in the dark don't begin come to light. Now in broad daylight with big fanfare, Sam-Sumana, the unsuccessful flag bearer of the C4C, don't go back to the APC chairman for life for go pay courtesy call. And in the process, it looked like a political meeting, not a family meeting. Because then talk about the party. So we just want for let with viewers they know say C4C not they go join no party.
Right. Of course, from that now the global publicity secretary Betsy Foreign talk so an authoritative person inside the C4C. So Betsy, you know, we understand where you are coming from. So ever since we Sam-Sumana don't go meet with Ernest by Romana McKinney, the audio we don't come up from that the meeting because the guy was very detailed in the explanation as to from the time we Sam-Sumana reached na McKinney, waiting happen, waiting and talk about. He really explained them very well. Now, would not be as an executive or as leaders in the C4C, would I be don't try for reach out to him for make una go try for understand why you do what you do?
Well, let us say something. The we from C4C, not so we be the reach out to and I make we get a forum inside we all the meet. Unfortunately, as we be the progress, now so they come with unelected people and say let them join the forum. And these are people where they get a loyalty to her. So, but still, we get the forum where they will simply just come and say, hey, will they call meeting for so time, but it didn't happen. Next, we hear on the radio they talk. I hear the interview on the radio, and after this interview, so I will therefore can do a comment where I will put out. But for the interview on the radio, we hear it talk say it be one for meet with President Bio too, but President Bio kind of like
nobody taking calls them again.
Ignore. But then we assume say President Bio they actually forget appointment with them for let them meet. Now 500 motokade in for cable in the entourage for go meet President Bio. I mean, if they ask no more, according to waiting insane, they cannot be able to see President Bio. Then they go now for go see chairman for life. Then they say it gets 72 motokade and 30 something okada them not to campaign them so campaign done. We won't get no campaign going on, and you do that. I find them a little bit funny. Neither here nor there, and I don't know what thing that they try to prove. My whole point is, we not for even make that thing there into a big deal. Because true set of me, Ernest Koroma is no longer the president of Sierra Leone. So that means that he not get forget that power where he get over APC, where him is saying that he can for pass. Then they allow him forget that because you don't have Salon Society there. They look and say this man is the president of the Republic of Sierra Leone. So we'll get to do as he say. Because if they don't do as he says, him they don't expect him to say anybody will try to cross him back and Sam-Sumana self we can talk about that now. America yeah they on record. If anybody cross him path, they deal with the person. And we see videos from Salon for some political engagement where they tell people and say, oh, that no say popular, they go start in your party. All that kind of stuff they do. So that happened and people then allow him for let it get away because he was president of Salon. If you know, if they don't do as he say, he get plenty way for let he crush them. I see they're all corrupt. They go for instance, call the anti-corruption commissioner and tell her and say that person for that friend, so dollar. That's the way for crush that person. We see Musa Tarawali after he don't start Musa Tarawali. They say they set up commission of inquiry. They will not know waiting come out of that. But thing is, from what me hear from reliable source, that Musa Tarawali tell and say, hey, if you want to go set commission of inquiry on me already, but are you ready too? Are you also ready?
Right. So Betsy, so
something that recently by one interview.
Yeah. So Betsy, make I ask you this: as a political party, una get structures, una get rules and regulations. I know say una get constitution, una get everything where they guide una as how una for operate. So if somebody don't do something we una consider as anti-party activity, you know, because to me, if Sam-Sumana as una leader, they go na a meeting like that one, they inform the hierarchy of the party. Then they go na interview, they meet una, talk to una the way we're supposed to talk to una. Is there any possibility for say una go take a disciplinary action against Sam-Sumana?
Well, here's the deal. We know they on the ground. We know America will get other sober one day with London, Australia, where they are the diaspora. And now we are the people that were financially independent of Sam-Sumana, where they control we. Then there other dons then where they tell them say jump and say how high sir. In fact they begin jump and while they ask say how high sir. So now you look the one way they on the ground, they not get a voice. So disciplinary action will therefore come but go through the legal way. We do the due processes. And as like for say Sam-Sumana and a man will not take time sometimes in your personal life now for let them go they expel and them political party. Because APC them they expel them. Because you see inside C4C right now, when I talk say in the leader of C4C, that was so
I heard that interview Wegi.
Any not a leader of the C4C. How do they know who than a leader? They get for be chairman of the party. And the chairman of the party in Atambasandi, you know how we do with constitution? The first person for draft the constitution was me, where Donna Yaso Betty, for the way they talk to me. I'm not a lawyer, but I don't deal with civil society for a long time. I was very active in the Sierra Leone Association of Journalists Large. And then they represent Large, who have been there as publicity secretary, can go by there, civil society meetings them. So I offer with the rules, and then I be help for organize the female journalists them for let them go set up the website. So I know what I'm talking about. So because you see with lawyer then we'll get 3 sound lawyer then at the C4C, but these are very busy people. But when we just begin when they talk about constitution, I put something down, and you know person where they do the first draft now you really don't do the work. So, and when we finally send a copy, an adopted copy to Sierra Leone for let them go and make it go fit the national executive. When they do and they send them to me, I looked at it, and you know say inside our constitution day, when a flag bearer lost presidential election, comes an ex-official member.
Mm-hmm.
When he said the coach power, he did it as ex-official so that in the event that, for example, say something happened to the chairman, they can say, okay, Mr. Sam-Sumana, you can be the chairman for so term until you get election, or something happened to any other executive person, ex-official. Almost every organization has a duty.
Okay.
So he is ex-official member because now Tambasandi is the national leader.
Right.
In the global, the Aliu Iskandri and Kevin Metzika, both of them na lawyers, na the leader, na the global.
Okay.
And then Afande, sorry, Aliu Iskandri, Afande, Kevin Metzika, na the global leaders. And then in we parliament, na Emerson Salamina, I leader. So in fact, by default, Honorable Emerson Salamina is the C4C leader. By default.
By default, right?
Yeah, and I represent in a parliament.
So this go with Sam-Sumana be they go na for go meet Anes by Kroma. You know, Emerson Salamina, Honorable Emerson Salamina been there in Sierra Leone, in a parliament. We don't hear anything from her for say been consult with because he say can go entourage. We don't know who that them be there inside the entourage. But I know say Honorable Salamina not been there.
I myself no know. The same news when you get now when you get they just keep closed mouth. Nothing, mute. They treat you with absolute contempt. Nothing is being said to us. Now the global executive and the global executive will get the parliamentarian, the mayor, Nakono, all big stakeholders here and there. We all did it. They just look at it for somebody. I don't know discuss nothing. In fact, two different people tell me say they get an alternative forum when they discuss. So all the people they know where they yes and then they
okay.
And then I get them again from very reliable source among the parliamentarians and sources among the parliamentarians then say they want heavy pressure from Sam-Sumana. If they make people and they call the parliamentarian, then they threaten them. People now say that Sam-Sumana and Tambasandina they give a symbol for one. I mean, this is not democracy. And I will appeal to all political parties say for let them give symbol to people and really find let them get the primaries. The representatives them of the party them will choose who that them will give symbol. But for C4C election, the symbol awarding be happening between Tambasandi and Sam-Sumana. In fact, we get people that will get capacity or potential for win a parliamentary election. They don't give them symbol. They just give to who that they want. So now that then they use against the economic people within our parliament. So these people have to dance to the tune of Tambasandi and Sam-Sumana. They say you can't bite the finger that feeds you. So now they don't subject them to slavery. Those people, some of them, they even regret and say them below. It's a symbol for C4C them before they walk the way they be there, it before be more rewarding for them than for can they under this kind of pressure. So that's how it's looking. So me not to blame them. Because myself when I went on the way for nobody. When I said it's true, they get idlers them where they send money to say when I call cost. Yeah,
within the C4C organization, this they happen there?
Well, I won't say it's within the C4C because these people who call, I don't even care to know their identities. The only number where they call, where they cost. You know how they respond? And they laugh so bad. And they laugh because they look as they want them funny. They don't get something to do. I do. They go cost for people. You know, most people be the cost for Sam-Sumana, they cost Agnes Roma, bad cost, they call you web cost some of the minister then. And the way they mix in and they make less Sam-Sumana, they expel her. But they like it today. Where are these people? They
so
people don't go, they make peace. So
yeah, so Betsy, you know, when it comes to the end of the interview, really, we'll be just one for touch base with you on few of the things there. Now, what thing you go say about this rumor way? I know say you go don't start from Sam-Sumana in surrogates and deep and spread, and for say he is entitled to retirement. Now, Salon, what thing that you take on that?
Well, you see how many? There's nobody who I hold grudge for. I just love my country. And the loyalty not to Salon for today, and I left for last say true. You know what you do? Because in this age where we live, you can become sycophants. You just say something for please somebody, or you say something for hurt somebody because of some other reasons. Tomorrow it haunt you. In my own personal opinion, I think say first of all the police then misguided. The police then and they put blame for me. No, they put blame for SLPP because me they look and say if then for be an independent force, then for be a force for good, then for get common sense, then for know what thing that they do and how they do it. The former vice president go visit in Superior, as they call her. Next thing you know, they don't go say they don't recall 3 of insecurity. From the interview with me, a better way, I don't get time for that kind of thing, but the DIG not right. Don't come across to me like a person we really know what thing they do. But generally now let me make this comment. In the first instance, I make now 5 security then forgive 1 person. 5 security in a country of about 7 million people, where the police force the way they don't even do. Where the plenty area the way they go deploy police, why you go give 1 person 5 security? I don't want to let them single out Sam-Sumana like for say, I mean, that very, 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 very important. You know, by the actions of what the police they make, I wonder if the IG since Nakonoman, they use tribal sentiment for like a battle Sam-Sumana because instead Nakonoman. So sometimes that make them get 5 security. But that is not the case. Why make na immediately after in visit to President Kuruma, a visit where really no get any substance? Na a straw man argument. Na he go and put argument will not get no weight. Where as such and so it was scatter because at the end of the day, Alex Kuruma may probably not even continue to be chairman for life. He tell which last year, immediately after, before the runoff results they come out, he say in the can retire in 2 months. Well, then that seem for there at a standstill, maybe held up in traffic. So now make the 2 months not reach yet. But if I say, I believe say when APC then will go to the convention, then go get for look into the issue and look if why make in a democracy in this new millennium. Therefore, go take 1 great person and say you're not chairman for life. So probably that get to be, I know that get to be compromised soon. And when that happens, where does that leave President Kuruma, former President Kuruma? And if former Vice President Sam-Sumana, they can lean on former President Kuruma for let it go able get wet na APC. I look at it for say that's too it don't make sense. Right. But, so because Alex Kuruma is the person who is really largely responsible for APC the election defeat. So rest of the APC the knowledge because plenty can call me and complain about that. This undermine the party. Some people even believe say undermine the party for make it will make President Biogo win. Then President Biogo give protection. Well, we don't know that then a conspiracy theory. I don't know how to do it. But that's now one of the reasons where they make the people in the APC they look and say this man is not to be trusted. So how come now you Sam-Sumana you not find other means for go join APC na through an Kuruma where we don't mastermind you expulsion at APC and further unconstitutionally
sack him. Right.
So now make it look say it don't make sense. It's not say they also not drowning men.
Right.
Say well, if now this man available, clutch onto him, follow Mola say, but it look like say, now them two become up together as president, vice president, and look like now them two they go down together. Something na so their destiny say. Now them two for rise, now them two for fall. So me can look at now left for say, they ask the police this behind them for let them go, and the manner in which they do the thing, and they no say propaganda life in social media and even in the country. Then just make no more. Some people go look again and look say, oh yeah, this man is sorry. Oh, now sympathy no more than go for Sam-Sumana. They should not have done that. Then before waiting now 2-3 weeks. Well, if 2-3 weeks pass, or if 1 month pass, waiting that will do. And secondly, I even surprised for Yeri say then he called the 3 man then they not agree go because Sam-Sumana say make them not go. Who are they working for? Are they working for the police force or are they working for Sam-Sumana? So that they all just show say the police force itself is not a force for good. Honestly, it's not a force for good. Then I will come to a parliamentarian then now come, according to letters when you don't see, social media, they invite the IG and the DIG for let them, and the minister, deputy minister of internal affairs for let them go explain why they would do this. And the parliamentarian, they will do this, and the C4C parliamentarian then, and a Kono district and Komo, and then get symbol for run as parliamentarian then without contest from Sam-Sumana and Tambasandi. So the loyalty, not to the Kono people, not to the Sierra Leonean people, the loyalty because of how they get a symbol, not to Sam-Sumana a day. But if the SLPP parliamentarian they get sense, they certainly for don't join the C4C people and say, oh yes, let them people here can explain to me how and why they did this. So that any propaganda now we want go they say they have chanting, they go neutralize and they go say, but look, even the SLPP MP themselves they're not take kindly to that. But now so far it's like saying that this one add some feather to Sam-Sumana and cap. Now so me honestly see how.
All right.
Shall pass because 2023 still there a long way.
Right. Well, you know, we get for continue for follow waiting the unfold inside the C4C. We get for continue for close the watch una, but we know say we say una strong hold day when a corner. Even majority of the people in a corner been vexed for that kind decision where Sam-Sumana been take. They even begin for born una t-shirt them, begin for born this Sam-Sumana and t-shirt them. So you know, we don't know what is going to happen. And by Sam-Sumana himself going to that meeting with Ernest Baikroma, and they apologized to APC and to Ernest Baikroma for his wrongdoings. We be if you say now APC and Ernest Baikroma doing wrong, there is a lot to learn from this whole thing where they go on. But Betsy, at the time we get right now, we will continue for the Bring You Camp for all the talk on the issues. We want to say plenty thank you to you.
Thank you to you too.
Right.
God bless you. Happy New Year.
All right. Happy New Year to you as well. Yes, me from them want for say plenty thank you to Miss Betty Fore, the Global Publicity Secretary for the Coalition for Change for in Wisdom and the information we is share with we now Sherrick's Broadcast Network. We want for tell and plenty. Thank you. And so next we want for talk about no other person but Sylvia Blyden. And some of the talks then they talk on social media, we want to talk about that. You know, normally me fan with them, some of we can want for avoid dignifying some of the things that way people that you do on social media, we as far as we are concerned, are not merit for, you know, begin to profile any views on stuff like that one day, because when you do that one day, would they dignify the kind thing that way they do, right? Would they dignify them? So we don't want to participate in anything like that, because we know say you know, waiting at the talk not make sense, waiting at the talk in all water, but it is also necessary because you see Sylvia Blyden now one person way don't serve as a government, it don't serve you know, as a minister in the APC government. And so me feel say when it offer or it say things them on social media, it is important for us to discuss some of them things that they talk about. I feel say necessary. So this being until we all talk about you know, the Commission of Inquiry, now that side away. Plenty Sierra Leoneans then where they look forward to the Commission of Inquiry. In fact, people in the way they blame the President, His Excellency Julius Maada Bio, they blame and say it be the delay with the Commission of Inquiry. And so now that the Commission of Inquiry don't begin to get traction, so these are some of the talks that we be done to go around from the APC circle. And with all you then talk also where APC they call the Commission of Inquiry as a kangaroo Commission of Inquiry. And somebody like Sylvia Blyden, we now they say a doctor, right? In the academia, he has a PhD. That's what we are made to understand, you know. And so when you get an education like that, then you know say there are processes and procedures where a legal instrument like a commission they go through before it becomes binding on the country. And you know say then process then the people that don't go through, the parliamentarians, they don't go through all this process, and that is why the president went ahead and signed it, and it is going to happen. But this is what she wrote on WhatsApp, right? Where on Facebook, where people that they share. It say my post tonight on Facebook is a little bit technical, so let me explain. The Constitution in Section 171, subsection 15 says, any law which Parliament passes which goes against any part of the Constitution is a null and void law and has no effect. It should be ignored. Now, the instruments signed by President Maada Bio to set up his commissions of inquiry are all against Section 150 of the Constitution. So all three commissions are nullities. Furthermore, in sections 108 subsection 8 and section 108 subsection 9 of the Constitution, it is considered to be an act of well, actually, let me bring it up, because I want for Leona Sego to read along with me. We be the reader. I want for Leona Sego to read them. So let me bring it up on the bigger screen so we all go read them together, okay? Yeah, so give me 1 second. I'm going to bring it up. I'm so sorry, guys, but we have to do this together. So, Usa Abinde. Okay, now, furthermore, in section 108, subsection 8, and section 108, subsection 9 of the Constitution, it is considered to be an act of treason if you deliberately persist to push for such a law or activity that makes a different provision from laid down sections of the Constitution. Bottom line, those people who are still insisting that the commissions of inquiry should go on as drafted are actually helping to commit treason. They should be aware those commissions are null and void, and the APC has made it clear that no respectable APC member will subject themselves to such a kangaroo commission. Unlike President Julius Maada Bio, our party does not have antecedents or a penchant for committing treason. So we are not, so we not go get, we not get for mass with foods na any treasonous kangaroo commission. Lonta. So that is what Sylvia Blyden wrote on her wall on Facebook. And so we get for do a thorough analysis of that. Let me try to find out if what you don't talk na true. Number one, is say the Commission of Inquiry they against some sections the way it don't quote section 115 and section 108. It say they against them. And secondly, that once then they against them, then the commission not supposed for sidom. Anybody where they continue for push for let that commission they sidom not treason they commit. Now this is what we know, Mifambude, because if I'm for level understand these things very well, that the people that were in a parliament, now people that will go represent Sierra Leoneans, because Sierra Leoneans now with 7 million plus, we all not go able for go do inside our house day. So that's why would they send people and would they vote for people that will for go represent we. So when they go represent we is like the whole country. And this thing where Sylvia Blyden they talk about, not so true, because we get a video they can't play for Najisno. Let us say how the whole thing happened. Because the instrument was taken to the well of Parliament. When they go to Parliament for discourse as to whether this commission for take place, it was thoroughly discussed. It was thoroughly debated. Thoroughly. When I say thoroughly, then give all the man the platform for let you talk anything about the commission. APC they emphatically discuss them. NGC, C4C, all the other parties that were in a parliament, plus the SLPP, then thoroughly debate this instrument. Thoroughly. Right? Not if I say they're not crango, then crango they allow all man for talk about them. When they don't talk about them, done. The Speaker of the House, when Dr. Abbas Bundu, now he asks, the procedure is, first you go with a yay or nay. So he asks the people in the parliament, the parliamentarians there, for me to indicate either by a yay or by a nay as to whether they want for the motion where APC can go na parliament for let the commission not sit down. He said that one the way they in favor of that motion, may they say yay. Now people they say yay. The one the way they against the motion where APC can go na parliament for let the commission not sit down, may they say nay. Now people they say nay. So the APC leader in parliament, when a Cherry Coco, now in demand for say that yea and nay not sufficient enough for able for make a determination as to whether the commission they don't make a decision on it. Na parliament. And you know when you can go instruments like that one and in a parliament, you are supposed to have 94 votes for let it become a law, for let it able for pass. 94 votes. Right? So Cherry Coco demanded for a vote. They went into that vote. And when they go into that vote today, APC gets 74, SLPP gets 60 something. So APC not able to get the 94 votes for make the motion stand for say the commission not for take place. They're not able to get that. So therefore, if you don't care go a motion at parliament for let people that debate on them and vote on them and your motion not able for pass, then the law will be there in place where in the instrument when they can go to parliament, the instrument then continues to be binding. So meaning that the commission supposed for continue for take place. Right? I hope so my family when they understand what they talk. So in fact, what will they do? Let us listen to that procedure. They will say, let us listen based on all the explanation what I don't give. Let us listen how it be happen inside parliament from the start of all the debate all the way to the time where they vote and waiting the speaker end up for say. Stick around.
Be it resolved that in accordance with Section 177 of the Constitution of Sierra Leone, Act Number 6 of 1991, and in tandem with SO 18.8, SO 25.2, and SO 28.3, I move that the constitutional instrument numbers 64, 65, and 67 of 2018.
Naso, the Member of Parliament, where they represent constituency 46 na Konyadugu district, Honorable Daniel Kuruma, been finally moved the motion, say member them of Parliament, not agree for the three constitutional instruments them, 64, 65, and 67, where the Attorney General and Minister of Justice in office, holding a Parliament October 2 this year.
91 be debated as they contain provisions that are unconstitutional and not in the public interest and therefore be annulled.
This been set the stage for waiting plenty people we witness don't describe as one of in-kind debates among MP them at the Salon Parliament will last over 9 hours, Monday, October 22.
We have said insistently, consistently, and persistently that we are not against the Commission of Inquiry.
For me, what I see in those three instruments are just a political interest on the part of the SLPP-led government to suffocate and support a constructive opposition APC.
If you know your hands are clean, go and show your hands.
As you hear, member them of Parliament been used all waiting them gets from them book sense to them common sense for kick against the three instruments them from the side of the opposition APC party and for defender instruments here from the side of the ruling SLPP party, as plenty people will get interest from the general public when they watch from the upper gallery.
I refer you, this house, to paragraph 4E of the constitutional instrument number 67.
We ibidigi reason them as to wait to make a thing say MP them for throw away the three constitutional instruments them. Honorable Daniel Kuruma will move the motion, being quick for condemn the instruments here from the standpoint of law, and we say then go against the 1991 Constitution now the country.
The terms of reference of the said commission, it says, and I quote, to inquire into and investigate any persons or matters as may be from time to time referred to the commission by His Excellency the President. From time to time as may be referred to by His Excellency the President. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, in law, when you are enacting laws, I submit that there should be certainty. There should be predictability. Laws must be predictable. Laws must be certain. But by this phraseology, as from time to time, can mean until 2023, you are not out of the law if this is allowed, which I believe is unconstitutional.
Honorable Daniel Kuruma continue for check the three instruments them.
Paragraph 6.2 talks about rules of the commission. Now I want to bring it to the notice of this honorable house that based on our constitution, which is the ground norm, as stated in section 171, subsection 15 of section 171, it is the ground norm. But now, for the attention of the public whom we represent, I seek your permission to read it. This constitution shall be the supreme law of Sierra Leone, and any other law found to be inconsistent with any provision of this constitution shall, to the extent of that inconsistency, be void and of non-effect.
We insert in the talk. The Member of Parliament for Constituency 77 under the APC party, Honorable Abdul Kabo, will look inside the issue we get for do with the people where the Commissioner of Inquiry for investigates, where them go down pass the instruments them to law.
I was a little bit disturbed that key players were left out. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, please allow me to refer to section 62 of our constitution. It states where any minister has been charged with the responsibility for any department of government and shall exercise general direction or control over the department, and subject to such direction or control, the department shall, I lay more emphasis on this, the department shall be under supervision of a permanent secretary. Where are these permanent secretaries on this instrument? If this commission was serious about inquiry, why did you have to promote Benny Sandy, who has served within this frame of time as stated in this document? Why did you make him minister? This document has been referred to as a medium through which hunting will be effected, because those people who have been incriminated are those people who they are promoting because they supported them during the campaigns, and those people who are stumbling block to them are those people who they are going to hunt.
the debate been continue beside the Deputy Leader of Government Business na Parliament, Honorable Matthew Numa, been take the floor and been talk on why he thinks government for set up Commission of Inquiry now.
We are here to set the roadmap in the new direction. The new direction is the right direction. I will start to correct my colleague who tend to mislead the House, Honorable Member. You said Section 150, we set the rules. But what we have here today, what we want to debate today, is for us to accept to have the Commission of Inquiry. You cannot have the rules before the Commission of Inquiry be set. We need to set the Commission of Inquiry first. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I refer you to Section 147, subsection B, the responsibility of members of Parliament in setting up this commission. It's just for us to have the resolution to accept that we are going to set the commission. You cannot put the cart before the horse.
Honorable Numa Semoso say the Commission of Inquiry now for stop corruption of the country, where he believes the past government them may don't fail for do. Where himself been the talk. The member of Parliament for constituency 03 in Akailaun district, Honorable Indolo Moi Wogevao, say the main opposition APC still not give any reason it for support them point say member them of Parliament not for agree for the 3 constitutional instruments them.
No member of this House has pointed out a single provision in this instrument that is unconstitutional. My colleague who moved the motion woefully failed to pinpoint a single provision in the Constitution that has been abrogated by the instrument. Why are we here? Are we trying to be unpatriotic? Aren't we thinking of our children? Are we trying to say it's going to be business as usual for us to rip off the poor and go scot-free? What is happening to this generation? A generation that I belong to. My children.
But listen, what is the member of Parliament for constituency 115, Honorable Alpha Amadou Ba from the APC party, get for say for the 3 instruments them.
What are laid before us here are a mere kangaroo courts, Mr. Speaker, honorable members. We are against the intended kangaroo court as laid before us in this House, giving all the technical faults, giving all the excesses, giving all the discretionary powers that are embedded in those 3 statutory instruments.
Honorable Fode Mayo Kamara, now the deputy leader for the National Grand Coalition Party in Parliament. This is not what it been said, but the instruments them.
It is actually frightening when it is no time bound and when at any time somebody can be called upon. We must have clear-cut rules, regulations, names, so that even the public can investigate on their own.
This make Honorable Fode Mayo Kamara say MP them for make them 3 instruments here, not just pass for be law, but for change something them day.
In supporting these constitutional instruments, we are humbly requesting that the necessary amendments be made and this paper be brought back to us for approval.
Honorable Sir Emerson Lamina, now the leader for the Coalition for Change C4C party in Parliament, he raised some issue them, but alleged corruption where he believes say been happening during the time when the APC party been in power.
Mr. Speaker, a few questions. Does it concern the proposer and the seconder of this particular instrument of the blatant rape of the Financial Administration Regulation Act of 1998? Does it concern the proposer and the seconder to see the blatant rape of the Bank of Salon Act of 2000, the Auditor General Service Act of 1997, the Income Tax Act of 2000, the Government Budget Act and Accountability Act of 2005, the Anti-Money Act of 2005, the Financial Management Regulations of 2007, the Bank Act of 2011, the Payment System of 2009. Does it concern the proposer and the seconder to look at the state debts that the past governments led by Dr. Anas Baikoma accrued almost 17 trillion of domestic debts and foreign debts?
This make Honorable Sir Emerson Lamina say in party support government for set up Commission of Inquiry.
Mr. Speaker, it is very, very important that the erstwhile government be investigated. Be investigated because the sacking of Chief Alhaji Abubakar Sam-Sumana is a wake-up call to this House. Mr. Speaker, we have a judiciary that almost brought this nation to war. Had it not been the peaceful nature of Chief Sam-Sumana who went through the jurisprudence of this nation, 5 Supreme Court lawyers, they took a decision that almost brought this nation to war. So, If you are saying the GTT report is a trash, or you are crying a stinking fish of the GTT report, then the sacking of Chief Sam-Sumana is also not important. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I call upon this House for the swift ratification of Constitutional Instrument 64, 65.
In the talk, the leader of the main opposition APC party in Parliament, Honorable Cherno Ramadan Majuba, call on MP them not for make them 3 instruments here below because of this reason.
Mr. Speaker, one thing is very clear, that every generation will have something to remember. And the generation of this parliament should be remembered for doing what is right today. I've been in this house for over 10 years. Similar documents, similar voting, or similar in situations have never arisen in this house. Posterity will judge us. Unfortunately, our moral guarantors, the international community, are not here today. But I'm sure they are watching. They were invited, but I'm sure they are watching. Like us, they want the commissions of inquiry, but I'm sure they will not support bad laws to establish commissions of inquiry.
Honorable Cherno Majuba continue for call on MP them for help the president with sober advise them more so on that kind issue. Yeah.
I said it last Thursday that the president is one man. It is us and those around him that should give him the right pieces of advice. We should not mislead him. When things are not correct, we are under obligation to tell him. I said it to this house last Thursday. He's just one man. He needs our support.
We insert in the talk. The leader of government business na Parliament, Honorable Sidi Mohammed Tunis, say MP them for support the instrument them for this reason.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, this inquiry, this commission of inquiry, is not just for our predecessors. Somebody had mentioned it before. It's also going to serve as a deterrent for all of us that are in offices today. Definitely. So it cannot be a witch hunt. It cannot be a witch hunt, and it will never ever be a witch hunt. And I want to assure this nation that this commission of inquiry will go on smoothly, fairly, and with due respect to every single person that will be called to answer the questions.
After we MP them, we don't go left and right as to whether or not they agree for the 3 instruments them. The Speaker of Parliament been put the question back to the House.
All those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. All those against say nay. The nays have it.
As you hear, MP them not being able to get the clear side, wait for win the debates based on collection of voices. So the leader of the main opposition APC party in Parliament, Honorable Cherno Majuba, been requested therefore votes and know the side will be carried the day. And after the process of voting, the SLPP party been get 60 people who vote against the APC motion. And the APC party will move the motion to member them of Parliament, not for agree for their instruments here, get 72 votes, and the void votes them, not 2. So the Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Dr. Abbas Bundu, will make this ruling.
The motion having failed to obtain the required 94 votes, I therefore declare the motion not passed. Therefore,
all right, and so my family, when I don't hear that, right? When I don't hear exactly, this is what Sylvia Blyden is saying, that it did not happen. And Fode Usmaya Sanedi, the Secretary General of the APC, said the same thing, that the instrument not go through the parliamentary procedures. So we all don't see now for say, these people, then they watch you, now you lie, then they lie for you. They are blatant liars. Because this instrument has gone through the proper procedures. And you know, I've been trying for listening to the APC leader in Parliament, Cherno Majuba, when I cherry cocoa. They talk say, number one, every generation gets something where they remember. And that one day commission of inquiry not take place in Asaloye, so let them not set that precedent. I cannot believe him for saying that. Wow. I mean, Cherno Majuba, did you actually say that? For say because commission of inquiry not be done sit down Asaloye, so enough for sit down. And who told you commission not be done take place? APC now when I first begin for put people on that commission. When I do it to Albert Magai, when I do it to other people them, when I don't sit commissions, when I don't tell people that for pay money back, when I don't everything, now when I don't start them. Then you they talk say this kind of thing not ever happen. Even if it not be don't ever happen at Sierra Leone. If we feel say today in this era, this modern era, times have changed. If we feel say this kind of action, now fit with today, now we for take today. Why you for talk say we not for take it because it not ever happen? So you see how each one of the APC people that when they open their mouth for talk, then they must say something when a pure blunder. Why you could say something like that one day? Then they talk say now they're supposed for the give advice to the president. I mean, are you serious? APC when for advice Madabio on what? Oh my God, I can't believe these people. So, but the instruments for the Commission of Inquiry went through the parliamentary procedures. So I don't know what Sylvia Blighty they talk about. I have no idea what she is talking about. Because just like how I don't say, all the political parties represented in parliament had their say on this instrument, on this debate. They had their say, or they all talk. It was fair. Everybody talk. And when they don't talk done, they do the yay or the nay. And the APC, we can't go the instrument, we can't go the motion at parliament, and they request for a vote. They went into vote, they're not getting 94%. I mean the 94 votes. And so they're not able to achieve that. For they against the commission, they're not able to achieve them. So the commission therefore sit down. Oh my God, I can't believe these people. I mean, they watch that they try for twist the facts. That they try for twist the fact. I mean, Sylvia Blighty, I get serious doubts by the PhD where you get for like you write something like that one day na Facebook. That section 115 and section 108 where you don't quote here and there. Like, what are you talking about? Next trip, they broadcast now, they bring their sections, then they now Constitution will put her up on the screen, let we read and we say, let we try to know what they talk about. But whatever when are the legal ramifications where they try to make with regards to this Commission of Inquiry in a whole water. Because we all don't hear what they go on. Thank God we get social media now. Because if we not get social media, can you imagine that for the fry we no more with oil? I don't know for what they do. But anyway, my family, I want to stick around as we continue for bring the program. Next, we get for come up with the economic trends in Sierra Leone. You know, waiting how the economy look like in Sierra Leone. That will be our next. Stick around with us. Right, and so me family next week get for talk about the second ministerial retreat will take place now at Freetown. Of course, the second ministerial retreat will also say Madabio and the ministers them then go into a ministerial retreat, and so we'll get for talk about that retreat day right about this time. You know, me really see say not be a very plausible move on the part of the president, Julius Maada Bio, for making go organize something like this. This is a very professional, you know, stuff that you see. If we go by waiting with constitution, Marafa, let me bring myself up so that when I go see me clearly. If we go by with constitution, waiting with constitution, I mean not only with constitution, but all with legal documents that we'll get in Sierra Leone. If we only go by then legal documents, then you go find out say plenty things then the way then documents then get everything way then documents they write about how we supposed for operate government, waiting we supposed for do, you go see say, you know, everything is properly written. If we only follow that particular thing, if we follow how how things then they, you know, how they be right time, if not that will follow, trust me, my family, we're not going to get one problem. Because our laws are properly written. If we follow them, we'll go do things then right. But my family, we never follow our laws, we never follow these things. And so at the end of the day, when things they don't go bad now we hand, then we begin canal, we begin cry, we begin for, you know, blame. Oh, we country not they go before. Oh, we country don't stagnate. We country not they go before. And, you know, all of that stuff that they happen. That they talk about, you know. So we have to ensure that these things are happening. Now, what to make they bring this particular talk here is because, you know, we get this law where we say every minister where they appoint into governance, that minister they supposed for sign waiting we call a ministerial contract. If we sign a ministerial contract with the president, and so the president and the vice president, now they supposed for monitor. Now they supposed for, you know, monitor that presidential contract day for say people that they perform the contract the way they're supposed to perform the contract them, right? But unfortunately, I'm so sorry, I have to take this off. But unfortunately, that's not the happen, right? By the past government, especially the APC government, they've not been done to monitor how ministers that they operate, how ministers that they do their jobs. And so at the end of the day, that's why all of us are suffering now. Because can you imagine, like we saw jobs that will get now the first word. You get your supervisor, you get your manager, then they monitor your job performance. Once every year, you they go through that job performance appraiser. May they see what you do well for the whole year, what you not do well, what you need for improve on. And if you're not doing consistently, you're not able to meet the job performance requirements over a period of time, either they send you for training or, you know, if you're not able to make improvement by the training, they let go of you because you're not able for meet the job requirements. So we have something like this written down in our laws in Sierra Leone. But unfortunately, we're not follow them here. Right? We're not follow them at all. So this government under Julius Maada Bio, they don't come, they say, no, we are not going to do that. We are going to ensure that people then sign the contract and that either the chief minister or the vice president then go to monitor them. Let us listen to what happened in Freetown this past 2 days. Stick around.
Contracts with his ministers. By the Sierra Leone President Bio to sign performance contracts with his ministers. By the Sierra Leone Telegraph. Just weeks after naming his cabinet, June 2018, President Bio convened in a one-day retreat involving his ministers, top civil servants and heads of parastatals, to discuss his mission and plan ahead for the delivery of his government's new direction agenda. The aim of the first retreat was to establish cross-departmental working relationships to improve public service delivery across government. Since that first ministerial retreat, there have been mixed reactions regarding the performance results of the government. Photo below. President Bio's first ministerial retreat in June 2018. The economy is still on life support, thanks to a $172 million bailout by the International Monetary Fund, and the goodwill of the international community who have once again started to do business in Sierra Leone, after freezing their relationship with the former APC government of President Koroma because of rampant corruption and mismanagement. Sierra Leone's economic growth has stagnated, though expected to improve by the end of 2019, assuming that outputs from the mining industry and agriculture sector will rise. Unemployment remains very high, with almost 7 out of every 10 adults out of work. Poverty is rising. Average daily household earnings continue to remain at less than $2 per person. And this, coupled with rising prices of basic consumer goods, is having a huge impact on the well-being of citizens. But the government has made positive budgetary intervention by increasing the salaries of key public sector workers, as well as increase the number of people working in the state sector, including police and nurses. Last week's decision to reduce the pump price of various fuel products and reduce transportation costs should help ameliorate the impact of high costs of living for most households. Corruption is being tackled head-on by the Anti-Corruption Commission, bringing public officials to account and get them to pay back monies they have stolen. The use of a single treasury account by government departments and ministries is having a positive impact on the management of public finances and in the fight against corruption. Government investments in infrastructure, whilst trying to keep borrowing under control, is being pursued to aid economic development, but not at the expense of spending on health and education. The government's free education program, launched a few months ago and this week's unveiling of books and other learning materials for schools, costing $26 million, is a huge achievement for a government that has prioritized education. But, political and social cohesion remain the biggest challenge for President Bio, with the opposition APC accusing the SLPP government of tribalism and selective justice in its pursuit of controlling government spending and fighting corruption. The government is expecting foreign investments in key sectors of the economy to rise significantly in the next 2 years, which should create hundreds of thousands of jobs in the farming, fisheries, agro-processing, and tourism industries. 3 things Sierra Leoneans need right now are job creation, job creation, job creation. So, what is the second ministerial retreat all about? Yesterday, Thursday the 10th of January 2019, President Bio officially opened the second cabinet retreat for ministers and civil servants organized by the Office of the Chief Minister, at the Bonthe Conference Center in Freetown. In his opening address, the Chief Minister, Professor David John Francis, said, "The objectives of this political and administrative retreat are targeted to review the 8 strategic priority programs, and to build a strong positive high-performing connective between ministers and civil servants to deliver on government objectives." This retreat also provides the opportunity for ministers to have a first-hand information and knowledge about the performance management contract that they will be signing with the President by the 31st of January 2019. Ministerial performance contract with the President is nothing new in Sierra Leone. In 2007, President Koroma said that he will run Sierra Leone like a business, a mantra with which he was lampooned by his opponents after presiding over rampant corruption in his government, which many observers said had been transformed into a friends and family enterprise. Ministerial performance contract signed by President Koroma was a sham. There was no accountability. Ministerial performance was not properly managed and monitored, as friendship and nepotism got in the way. Poor-performing ministers were kept in their offices, whilst those deemed not to be towing the line and perceived as too outspoken were booted out. President Koroma promised to publish ministerial performance reports, but failed to do so, despite talk of strong leadership based on openness, accountability, probity and transparency. So, Will ministerial performance contracts under President Bio be any different? Speaking at the opening of yesterday's retreat, President Bio did not say how the ministerial performance contracts will work this time round. Who will be responsible for managing and monitoring those performance contracts, the Chief Minister or the Vice President? And whether he will be publishing ministerial performance reports and how frequent. But he told ministers and heads of departments, collaboration among ministries must be driven by strategic outcomes. Cooperation among ministries must not only be purposeful and planned, it should also involve strategic review of those relationships at all times. So, what I emphasized in the last retreat was that we must have a shared understanding, and the shared ownership of the national priorities is established. Our national priorities should be translated into deliverables for the people of Sierra Leone. Historically, there has been a discordance between the political and administrative leadership of ministries, departments and agencies that has led to the series of challenges that affected our growth. This fractured relationship has had consequences on policy implementation and delivery, he said. These fractured relationships, he said, have had a huge performance and governance deficit on MDAs, as he called on all ministers and heads of departments to put their differences aside and work towards a common goal, because the interest of the nation was bigger and more important. President Bio told the ministers and senior civil servants that corruption is a serious threat to the efficiency of the state, and one that has seriously affected the economic growth and development of Sierra Leone. He assured that the commissions of inquiry will not only be there to discover stolen public funds and properties from former public officials, but will be there to identify deficiencies in the system and the way government is run. We must draw the line on the culture of impunity in this country. Civil and public servants must act with integrity, impartiality and fairness. We will not hesitate to deal with anyone going contrary. Now is the time to deliver for the people of Sierra Leone and tell our own stories, President Bio said. But it remains to be seen whether President Bio can translate his strong passion for discipline and good governance into effective management and supervision of ministers and senior civil servants, so as to improve public service delivery, drive economic development, create jobs and reduce poverty. President Karoma's ministerial performance contract was a sham. Will President Bio's be any different? Only time will tell.
Right, and so my family, that was what the second retreat, the ministerial retreat, was all about. Waiting elect, but the retreat was to put everything where this government don't do from the time where they elect them to this time, waiting they don't do for put them into perspective, for me to evaluate themselves as to whether they don't deliver or not. It was also a moment of checks and balances on the ministers, on heads of departments, on heads of agencies, for me to really see if they can deliver on the promise where the president been promised the people of Sierra Leone with the campaign. So, you know, they went through training and they get very good experts that when foreigners where they train them on these things. I so like them because when you do any job, if I'm for you to get like the in-service trainings, you go for training, you get training on how you for perform your job. If you get any questions, you ask them, you know, because there has to be an agreement between the administrative, the administrative leadership of the country and the political leadership of the country. They all two for work together. So like then civil servants, then permanent secretaries, you know, they all for the work together with the political leaders then and ministers and all these things. They forget collaboration, they forget coordination, they forget, you know, conversations, whatever they do. So that was the main thing where this very retreat we tried for portray. But at the same time, they're able to put into perspective as to how the economy look like right now in Sierra Leone. The economy, how the economy looks like. Actually, we want to say plenty thank you to the Sierra Leone Telegraph. Now they published that news day now from the Wigeta. Thank you so much for that. But they don't put the economy of Sierra Leone into perspective. So we say they can't take a look at them. Let's just see the economy of Sierra Leone in perspective, right? Now, economic trends in Sierra Leone from the time where they don't elect the president, Julius Maada Bio, as president of Sierra Leone, on to this day where we talk to una today, waiting at the economic trends in the country right now, you know, because it's necessary for level talk about them. So what we are seeing here is that Salone economy is on a life support right now. The economy there on a life support. $172 million bailout by the IMF. Now then give you that money there. You know, say IMF that we don't stop for give money to APC very close to election because they're not be able to meet the demands of the IMF, so they will stop them. But the $172 million bailout was given to Julius Maada Bio in government. Then Salone economy is still stagnated. It in one place, they move. Because out of every 10 adults in the country, now only one employed. Actually, that's how we were supposed to put it. 1 out of every 10 adults is employed, not unemployed, employed. So, by all the adults in the country, where you contain, sometimes I want to get a job. Then also, the mining and agricultural sectors get for make input. There is a strong belief, optimism, for say in the coming months, all the way to the end of this year, the mining and the agricultural sector, they get for make serious input into the economy of the country. And also, the international community don't begin for do business back in Salone because time in Kawa they don't lose hope, they don't left. But they don't begin for return for do business in Salone. So that also going to stimulate the economy. And then poverty is still continuing for rise in the country. They say average Sierra Leonean they live on $2 a day. So poverty is still there in Sierra Leone. So that is the current economic trends in the country. Now so the economy there. So people are still going through hardship. You know, people and adults they not get jobs for do. Commodity prices then still they high. These things are happening. But understandably so, because now make they say government na continuity. If you were to hand over to me, you've been doing a very good job on the economy. So by the time when they hand over to me, it will be easy for me to just move on smoothly. But if you don't let the economy battered, wherein people were suffering, other austerity measures where the APC they introduced will not see how it positively impact the country or the people. So the Maada Bio regime government inherited a very bad economy. And so you're not going to expect the kind of economy where they inherit, wherein we were trillions of dollars in debt. I think about $2.something billion in debt. Right? You're not going to expect anybody where they take over government within 8 months able to solve all the problem at the same time. Because the situation was terrible. The situation was bad. So that is the current economic trends of the country. Right? But then how government they try for tackle this problem? Because to every problem there should be a solution. Waiting at some of the solutions or waiting at some of the actions where the Maada Bio government don't take for able for tackle this economic problem within our country, right? Let's take a look at that. Economic trends in Israel, how government is tackling it. Number one, they don't increase salaries for public sector workers, including the police, you know, teachers, you know, nurses. They don't increase their salary, all right? Because the more money where you put in people in pockets, the more they go use them, and the more the money they go into circulation. And the people will be happy to go to work because money they get money for take care of their basic needs. They don't also increase the number of people that where they work for the state, for the country. The number will be small today, they don't increase as small. So at least more people have been employed and more people are making money now in the country. These are some of the ways that they try for tackle the economic problem like the country. They don't also tackle corruption. They don't force public officials to pay back money the way they be don't thief from government. So that money they need to come back. We all don't see the check way the commissioner of the anti-corruption commission, when Mr. David Benkefala, he don't go check to the president worth more than $1 million. So they don't tackle corruption. They need to tackle them. And the way the ACC they work right now, it don't instill fear in both people that will be there in the past government and even the one that will be in government right now. In fact, they don't go to be in one way be there inside this government. Sarah Bendu, right now they don't arrest any man. So corruption, they need to affect them very seriously. That is the way to fight the economic problem in the country. They use the single treasury account for everything. So all the money we'll get as a country, now they go into different account. Now all money they go inside one great account. Now from that one account, all money they operate. Single treasury account. So that way there is proper oversight, there is proper accountability, and there is proper transparency in how people that they do procurement, how people that they buy for government, or how that they use money from government. And then there is also investment in infrastructure while putting spending under control. You know, like a way APC that be fix that how they call this, the Aberdeen Road, when I've been how many miles? I think 4 miles road where they charge 19 million. Where they say every 1 mile of a road now about 1 million, but then they charge 19 million. So the infrastructure development way SLPP they do, then they put spending under control. And then they just spend 50 fata. Everything they under control. And then the president in free education, they on course. In fact, then they say they don't shape textbooks, give all the students them. And then they don't keep the cost of the free education under control at the price of 26 million right now. Now they at this present time. So these now some of the ways then they tackle the economic trends in the country. These are some of the ways they are doing it. So because the problem is there, nobody is denying that. But you have to have a very honest way to tackle that problem. And these are the ways the SLVP they try to tackle the problem. So how does the future look like for Sierra Leone? Let's take a look at that as well. How does the future look like? What's the future like? Right now, political and social cohesion is a big challenge for the government and for the country. When at the all man they make them odious them, you know, that they incite people that forgo bond CID, you know, then they talk to then a kangaroo court and other for Tina before the court, the commission of inquiry, people that they threaten war. All these things are not helping the government and the country. So the political and social cohesion is not there. And would I go blame for this problem? The opposition APC. So if we want to let this country go before, like how SLPP they be do, where they be doing opposition, then go sit down Safu, they not cause no confusion, they not cause no problem, they allow una rule for 10 years. APC, you should do the same thing right now. And the government is also expanding foreign investment that will create thousands of jobs in farming, agro-processing, fishery, and tourism. So for let jobs and go be created, there has to be peace and cohesion in the country. So foreign investors then go able to come at the country and then go able for invest their money and then go able for create jobs, you know, inside farming, agro-processing, fisheries, and tourism. Now that side and the way would they expect growth to be. Now that side they expect jobs to be created. But all of this cannot be possible if people that they can cause havoc in the country, then they can, you know, make them impossible, you know, for let the government go able for doing work the way we're supposed for doing work. So that is the future we are looking at. So for our future to be bright, there has to be peace and cohesion in the country. There has to be political and social stability in the country. When that happens, people will be interested to go in the country and invest their money and create jobs for other people. All right? So that is the future of Sierra Leone. So not to Julius Maada get the future of this country. Now we all get the future of the country. Because we will all get in mobile phone they are now. Plus you go left Sudan in your small corner, you take a mobile phone, it talk nonsense panel, it incites people that it tell people that for go cause havoc, make the country unpeaceful, peaceful. You are driving good people away from our country. Because nobody know how for go put in money on side, who side peace no day, who side boost day, who side then the confusion day. Nobody know how go for investing money at the inside of the day. So it is very important for us to know, because Salone people that we are very quick to cast blame on other people. We're quick for pointing out, now that person, now the president. We should stop blaming our president. We for no say, as citizens of the country, we are also responsible for certain things that will happen in the country. We have our roles as citizens and our responsibilities as citizens and our rights as citizens. We all get for put our hands on deck for make sure see this country go before. So that is the future we have. So therefore, what was the essence of the second ministerial retreat? Why it be necessary for me to go for this retreat here? Right? So the essence of the ministerial retreat, number one, let there be understanding between the political and civil administrations. That are the civil servants then, permanent secretaries, may they able to get a cordial working relationship with the ministers, them, with the heads of departments, with the heads of agencies. May they all work together for the interests of the country. Let the ministerial contracts where the president they talk about, may they also sign them and uphold them. The chief minister or vice president will be the ones to monitor the performance contracts. So under the Maada regime, you know they just go work now. Nobody know they check you. No, it's not going to be possible. After every period, they get for bring you come in, then check your performance record, then see how you don't do your work. If you don't satisfy them, if they get warning for you, then you. If they get advice for you, then you. If it's necessary, say you forgo for training, they send you for go for that training. Or if you don't really do bad now, they let go of you. But if you say the performance contract business very important, because it keep a check on you where you in your position, right? And then there should be cooperation among ministries in key. Cooperation among ministries is key to achieving government objectives. If somebody they work in a Ministry of Agriculture, something the way the Ministry of Tourism go need from agriculture, so they need for cooperate together for ensure say they support each other in their own individual objectives. So that cooperation need for day. Then civil servants must act with integrity, fairness, and impartiality. When you're a civil servant now, not begin to play that favoritism. You get for act with impartiality, you get for act with integrity, you get for act with a fairness. For always they put somebody, ahead of the other one. Right? So these are some of the things what we say a very necessary, for. So that is the essence of the ministerial retreat where the president called, we then go for training for. So when you look at all of this, the current economic trends in the country, how will people that they suffer, and what in government don't put in place for address them problem, that particular economic problem, what in the future look like, what in at the essence of the ministerial retreat, you can find out say the government they doing job. But again, it is the responsibility of all of us as citizens of the country for let us play with your own part for ensure say the government succeed. Because when the government succeed, it will impact all man. If the government fail, it will impact all man. So I'm glad the way that they train we ministers there and we MDAs them, leaders of we MDAs there, whether they train them, whether they talk to them, whether they put them into check for me able to do the work right for we. All right. So, my family, when I stick around as we try to come to the end of the broadcast, stick around with us.
I'm just here. George, nice to meet you.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you so much.
Talk to you, na me wool see the book. Now don't get belly, now you want cali belly. I know they send me put for seka olele. Now you the shell and me body get belly. When I they look the picky one kobo with no fever. Got tell me na me you get liver. Kind of flop behind now you the shiva.
Look at face and me face, TTICM. If you want me, look at more time, me more, TTICM. If you want me, body no send me no, say TTI watch 'em.
If you want me, body.
No like me, yeah, baby. No like me, yeah, baby. No like me, no like me, no like me.
If I may get a go answer. Yeah, Shakat. Deaf you, Spano self can testify. Sure of the way they give me. And I go show by myself. Yeah. This are it. Shakat. Fritz and Greatest. Word up.
Yes. Ifiba Me, of course, that's the shade featuring Trimmer and the cat, right? A feature that not Ifiba Me. So this is a very good lesson, and this song I like them because the beat is nice, the lyrics on it make sense. It is a story way to tell. You know, Nadentia would tell Salon musical artists them. So when you sing song, if they sing about woman business, but put a message in there way inspiring, where you could teach a lesson. So there's a big lesson in this song. I love that. And so, you know, we just get one more piece of information one for Pastona, and that's now waiting at the SLPP government and plan for Bonthe district. All right, the island of Bonthe. We get big island, you know. If that be first world, plenty things will happen at that island where it will be an epicenter for development in Sierra Leone. So waiting at the SLPP government headed by the president, waiting at them plan for the Bonthe Island. Stick around and see that.
The country woke up to a renewed hope of progress and development. People of Sierra Leone entrusted His Excellency, President Julius Maada Bio, with a historic mandate to transform the lives of Sierra Leoneans. The people of this great nation have voted for a new direction. The new direction involves huge focus on education and jobs. The flagship of the government's strategic priorities will be to focus on developing the country's human capital through quality education. Paupa, Salun, Fobete is the anthem across the country. Under the guidance of His Excellency, President Julius Maada Bio, the government of Sierra Leone joined hands with Planet Core Group and its global strategic partners to take a major step in the new direction with the creation of world-class Center of Excellence for ICT in Bonthe, the Island of Dreams. The project is in line with our President's vision of creating a regional center of excellence in ICT education in Bonthe, the Island of Dreams. The world-class educational center will have facilities like modern training infrastructure for 1,000 students, smart classrooms, labs and workshops with cutting-edge technology and training equipment, multi-purpose auditorium, modern residential facilities for 300 students and 100 staff members, and international standard sports facilities. Students will get to choose from a wide range of internationally competitive programs at diploma, undergraduate, graduate, and postgraduate levels. Courses offered in the IT field include computer technology, hardware and networking, software development, multimedia, movie making, printing and publishing, forensics and cybersecurity, database management and administration, and mobile application development. Courses offered in the electronics field include electronics engineering, telecommunications technology, robotics, industrial PLC, and mechatronics. Twinning with other institutions abroad, the Center of Excellence will offer flexible, international career pathways with industry-aligned certificate programs from Siemens, Microsoft, Cisco, and IBM. The ICT sector has proven to be a strong driver of GDP growth across the globe and has promoted the development of the digital economy. This world-class center will help not just the Sierra Leonean youth, but also help the youth from West Africa embrace the global ICT wave. The Center of Excellence, along with government's initiative in education and human capital development, will help transform Sierra Leone's economy through new employment creation. Under the leadership of His Excellency, President Julius Maada Bio, the project will be a legacy that generations of Sierra Leoneans will benefit from. The future of our country and our children is now firmly in our hands.
And so me family na that's na the new idea we get for happen at Bonthe district, the island Bonthe, the ICT technology, world-class technology. Now you get for goodie. Of course, when the president become na New York or United Nations or United States, people that be they ask, what did he achieve yonder? Well, these are some of the products of that. And of course, when I remember where it be sit down with Bill Gates, it's sit down with plenty other important folks them. So this is the product of that. When I also been seeing where it's sit down with Akon. Akon be promised say they give you street lights. That is in the works. So our government is working. So now I make enough go fight for let us shake anything we go make the country stagnate. Because when your country the way it's supposed for day, where it gets everything. You don't need for dinner other my country, for dinner your own country, for only can work now abroad. I mean, look like Ghana. Ghanaians and they vote now, then country don't improve. All man they go back, including people that were not born in Ghana, Americans. Then they go back and go sit down in Ghana. So this is the kind of vision, the kind of dreams where President Maada Bio get for Sierra Leone. And it don't talk say we own future, it a family now we own hand now. Now we get for make sure say we do something good for Sierra Leone. So that's all we get for end the broadcast today. And one small minute, Ibrahim Sharif. I want to tell you plenty thank you for the time we want to spend with you today. Of course, we want to join me for the broadcast. Of course, we will get plenty of people that will join with today. We will get Mohammed Tunkara, Adam Abari. Oh, that's my sister in Connecticut. How are you, Madam Barry? I get for call you. I owe you a call. Of course, Mr. James Bondo, Daphne Darami. That's my sister from Kenema. Milton Kanda, oh, that's my brother right here in Houston. Gerard Brewer, of course, thank you, sir. Ansu Tangad, and I'm your brother from Daru. I know say they with me in Houston. Lansana Toure, Lucien Abdullahi. Hey, Lucia, I know say they in California. You have to come down here. Kadi Jonjo, Zana Bangura, that's my sister. Daniel McCarthy, of course. Namio Mandawande, Crusher Man. Demba Sisei, of course, Alpha Timbo Jallo, that's my man right there. BK Kalon, of course, 147 now plenty. Thank you. Margaret Leby Kotu, thank you so much. BJ Mohammed Sanor, thank you. Of course, Lansana Hawa Gladys Lansana, of course, that's my own sweetheart. How are you? Thank you so much. Teresa Shokombi Momo, President Gloma Houston, thank you. Terence Whaley, oh man. That's my mayor of Harris County, way back. That was my mentor. He trained me up. Thank you, Terrence. Yes, long time. Sombotijan Kela, thank you very much for coming on. Ahmed Bele, thank you very much. Kefala Koisia, thank you. Kevin Dole, thank you very much. Dembasi Say, thank you again. Otis Peswe. Otis, hey, thank you. Vamunya Mohammed Sharif, thank you. Elizabeth Pabilona, of course, Sacramento, you know, California. Mustafa Soare, thank you very much. Humphrey Coker, thank you. Marama Jallo, that's Marama Jallo of London, thank you very much. Of course, for the Dabo, Solomon Metsi Mansare, thank you to each and every one of you for watching and for sticking with us. All right, we'll go then back next week. Thank you very much for watching.
Yeah. I'm just here. John, nice to meet you.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you, sir.
me face fine, oh.
If you buy me body,
Bad name, now you want can give me so. Girl, I defend for you on already soak. I give you school love, it's on and provoke. You take me party now, me whom we I go walk where they talk to you, now me wool see the broke. Now you don't get belly, now you want cali belly. I know they send me for seka olele. Now you the shell and me party get belly when I they look the pick. You want kobo with no fever. God tell me now me you get liver. Cry don't flop behind now you the shiver.
Look if it's a me face, it's TICM. If you want me, look at more time, me more, TICM. If you want me, body, no send me, no, say TI watch them.
If you want me, body,
no like for me, yeah, baby. No like for me, yeah, baby. No like for me, no like for me, no like for me. If you want me, no like for me, no like for me, no like for me.
If you want me, body, look at me face. I me get a go answer. Yeah, Shakat. Deaf you, lady. Spano self can testify. Show of the melody they give me. And I go show by myself. Yeah. This is it. Shakat.